on this short Mondello circuit then for the Junior Kart race, and a full grade here and some good action promised in this race. These are the stars of the future perhaps, and looking through that grid, our pole position man is Seamus O'Halloran on the right hand side of your screen there. He is the son, in fact, of the chairman of the Roads of Tralee Selection Committee, and O'Halloran Senior, well known to racers out here at Mondello Park, having gone through the Formula Ford himself. Richard Faulkner alongside him on the front row of the grid, and then further down the field, names to watch out for here will be two young Colemans from Cork, Gordon and Robert, and they are sons of the famous Billy Coleman, Richard Young.
Yes, and also Robert Brophy there on road number 2, number 19, son of Brian Brophy, well-known Galway man and FIA steward.
As they come down to the rolling start then at the start of the 6th lap of this Junior Kart race, and they're right bang up going into the first bend here as our pole position man Seamus O'Halloran tries very hard to hold on to it through that first bend.
These fellows actually working very, very hard on the steering wheels. There's a lot of weaving around in the warm-up lap to try to get the tyres warm. They're not fully up to temperature yet, but it's still O'Halloran as they head down in, and in second place Richard Faulkner, whose dad will be driving TVRs tomorrow, because junior karting very much a family thing, and in this case we've got two generations in the same race meeting.
Nicky Meredith also holding the third place that he started off with in this race, but young George Alice, number 21, and there's been an accident down there at the back of the circuit just as they head into that hole in the hedge, as it's known here on this shorter circuit.
Yes, it seemed to be Ronan O'Mahony and number 10, Alan Auerbach there, who had a little bit of coming together, but it's still now 3 karts there up in front. Number 44, who's Richard Faulkner, making his bid for the lead, and it looks as though he's got it there, going into the right-hander.
Well done, young Richard Faulkner. He's a son of Peter Faulkner, who'll be well known, of course, to people, and Peter is a well-known and very experienced racer out here in Mondello Park.
And up to the what they call the hole in the hedge corner, where they take the short circuit and a little bit of wheel banging there. These fellas getting ready for a career in big-time single-seaters, because that's what they do when they grow up.
Richard, we might get an opportunity a little bit further down the field at some stage to see the two girls who are involved in this class. This is a class from ages 12 to 16. Victoria Gassan, number 26, and Elizabeth Bruton, number 42, son of Des Bruton and related to the former Taoiseach.
Indeed, and an all-female row 11 on the grid there. I don't know quite how they're doing at the moment. They're down in the pack, but just goes to prove that junior karting is not a male-only preserve by any stretch of the imagination, although it's all fellas up at the top, and it's getting very hot and heavy there as Seamus O'Halloran no, it's Owen Murray who's in front now, I do believe, number 8. It is, putting out a bit of a lead too.
Owen Murray, who started this race from 8th position after this morning's practice, has now taken the lead in our junior kart race.
The practice, of course, was held in damp conditions, and there's quite a lot of setting up on these karts, because although they don't have suspension, the mechanics alter the track and the steering camber and all sorts of things depending on the conditions. Obviously the dry conditions are suiting Owen a little bit better.
Richard, these karts are 100cc, as you said. There are no gearbox in them, but they are highly tuned. They have specially designed carburetors. They can go up to 90 miles an hour down this main straight.
And the karts that we'll be seeing later on in the day, the other 100cc karts, are a little bit fiercer again, and they don't have automatic clutches. If any of these drivers should spin off, and there Richard Faulkner getting a little bit wide at the first corner, losing a place or two there. If any of them should spin off, they can restart, but the 100 clubmans will be coming up later on for slightly older drivers. A spin means you're out because you lose the engine. So
Nicky Meredith has moved up now into second place behind Owen Murray, and that was an excellent manoeuvre by him as Seamus O'Halloran fights desperately to get back into this race. He was the pole position man, remember.
And we've got a definite change in order there now, because Owen Murray stamping his authority on, although Nicky Meredith seems to be closing him down.
So it's Murray, Nicky Meredith and Seamus O'Halloran are 1, 2, 3, and Richard Faulkner still very much in the hunt in 4th place.
Do we have a change in the lead? I think we've got Nicky Meredith going for it here. In fact, he's just inched ahead as they go down to the first corner. 2 laps left to run. Car twitching under braking. They've only got brakes on the back wheels, of course, which makes the braking very critical. But Nicky Meredith now stroking it away, maybe.
That was an excellent manoeuvre by Meredith as they came down the main straight into Coca-Cola. It is, of course, the fastest place on the circuit. That takes bravery.
Well, with only back brakes and round about 80 miles an hour and another kart only inches away, these may be youngsters, but they don't lack courage and they don't lack skill. By the time they grow up and get into cars, well, they're going to be very seasoned campaigners indeed.
The track officials then are getting ready with the 1 lap to go board as Nicky Meredith holds on just about to this lead but with Owen Murray putting him under the maximum amount of pressure, this race is still up for grabs.
Owen Murray then darting out of his slipstream, getting the front wheels of the cart ahead as they go on to the final lap, taking the outside line, not the ideal line here at Mondello, but he's got sufficiently clear now to claim the corner, and it's Owen Murray back in front with about 2/3 of a lap to go.
Oh, that's excellent stuff by the Dubliner. He did to Nicky Meredith what Meredith had done to him on the previous round. Owen Murray now just has a corner or two to go to take this race win.
Out of the hole in the hedge corner, heading towards the S's. Owen Murray looking over his shoulder there to see where Nicky Meredith is. Nicky ducking into the left as they go through the S's, through the right-hand part of the S's. The cart's twitching around. One more corner to go, and Nicky Meredith making another attempt on the left-hand side, but it's not quite enough. Owen Murray in front, going through the final corner, heading down towards the flag.
Yes, Murray, as you said, taking a little look over his shoulder to see just exactly where Nicky Meredith went. He's right behind you, but it's Murray that wins. Nicky Meredith is second, and Seamus O'Halloran takes third place. But my goodness gracious me, that was close. What an absolutely super race that was, going all the way down to the